Recently, I've been hearing more and more stories from people who are being treated with hostility simply because they're seen as outsiders.
What struck me, however, wasn't the anger. It was something much deeper.
The people receiving that hostility often responded with remarkable dignity, kindness, and restraint.
Why do some people remain unshaken even when they're surrounded by rejection? Then I remembered something I've noticed while traveling. Have you ever found yourself constantly drawn to something but you couldn't explain why? A certain section of a store, a particular type of book, certain music, certain people. Something keeps pulling you back even though you can't explain it. I used to think it was just personal preference. Then I started traveling and I discovered something that completely changed the way I see the world. I realized that some nations seem to carry an invisible quality. You can't see it, you can't measure it, but you can absolutely feel it. I believe every nation carries a gift, and when that gift is deeply rooted in its people, it becomes almost impossible to destroy. Fire can expose a fake diamond, but it cannot destroy a real one. In the same way, hardship often reveals the true character of a people rather than erasing it. So today we're going to explore what makes certain cultures so magnetic, why their spirit continues to attract people despite enormous challenges, and what every one of us can learn from that invisible strength. Because sometimes the greatest power isn't found in controlling territory, it's found in protecting identity. Stay with me as I explain why some cultures continue to inspire the world even after generations of hardship. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. My name is Angie Marie.
And on this channel, we uncover the invisible strengths that make people, cultures, and nations truly unforgettable. I'm not sure if you've ever gone into a situation or just seen groups of people and there's just something different about them. In some cases, they pull you in. You wonder, what's their secret? Why are they like this? That has been my experience with various cultures. And so I've come to realize that every nation really has a soul. Every nation pretty much has a personality. I know there are individual personalities, yes, but as a group, a nation has soul. Some nations have magnetism. I experienced it most strongly in Ghana and around the people of Haiti. So today I want to share what I discovered because I believe this hidden force has the power to change the way we understand people, cultures, and even ourselves. The first secret is this: every nation carries a hidden gift. Whether your history includes war, slavery, genocide, famine, displacement, or countless other trials, the fact that you are here means someone before you refused to give up. Their strength lives on in you, so stand on that foundation. Protect the best of your culture. Become another reason future generations will be proud to say, "These are my people." In my experience, one of Ghana's greatest gifts is its culture of welcome. It is built upon pillars that have stood for generations: community, family, mutual respect, humility, hospitality, and the belief that every person deserves dignity regardless of where they come from. You feel it in the language. You feel it in the warmth of akwaba, which means welcome. You notice it in the frequent use of please, me paucho. Not merely as a word, but as a way of honoring another person. These are not random customs. They are roots, and roots that have grown deep over generations are not easily torn out by the winds of hostility or prejudice. Perhaps that is why one quality I've often admired in many Ghanaians, especially those living abroad, is what I call the principle of the living mirror. A mirror never argues with the image before it. It simply reflects what is placed in front of it. Offer respect, and respect is reflected. Offer kindness, and kindness returns. Offer distance, and the reflection quietly becomes distant as well. This is not weakness, pride, or revenge. It is the quiet wisdom of understanding that energy is precious. Like a skilled gardener who waters the plants that are growing rather than pouring endless water onto barren ground, they often choose to invest their time, warmth, and attention where those gifts are received. Their identity is not built upon forcing acceptance, but upon preserving dignity. They understand that hostility may bruise the leaves, but it cannot reach the roots. And perhaps that is why wherever they go, their quiet strength continues to draw people toward them. Ghana reflects what it receives while protecting its dignity. The second secret is this: hardship does not destroy a nation's soul. And which other country is best to show that than Haiti? One quality I have consistently observed in many Haitians is a remarkable ability to draw strength from within. They know the struggles their nation has endured. They know the sacrifices of those who came before them. And perhaps because they remember their history, they refuse to let hardship become their identity. Recently, I've watched heartbreaking videos where Haitians have been told they're not wanted, spoken to with contempt, or treated as though their worth depended on someone else's opinion. Those words may wound for a moment because, of course, they are human. But what has struck me is how many Haitians refuse to build their identity around those voices. Instead, they return to something much deeper. I think of it as the inner banquet. Imagine sitting at a magnificent table overflowing with nourishment. When you have already been fed from within, you're not desperate for scraps from someone else's table. You appreciate genuine kindness when it is offered, but you do not starve when it is withheld. Your sense of worth does not depend upon another person's approval. For many Haitians, that banquet is prepared from generations of resilience, faith, music, family, language, laughter, shared memories, and an unshakable belief that hardship is a chapter, not the whole story. They have learned that storms may shake the house, but they do not have to shake the foundation. So Haiti is nourished from within, and therefore it doesn't have to live on the approval of others. This is not arrogance. It is not denial. It is a quiet confidence. It is the understanding that when you know who you are, hostility loses much of its power. You no longer allow another person's bitterness to become your identity. You carry your dignity with you, like royalty who never forgets their heritage. You rise, you rebuild, and you continue your journey. Perhaps that is why, despite generations of unimaginable challenges, the Haitian spirit continues to inspire people around the world. A soul that has learned to feed itself can never truly be starved by the opinions of others. The third secret is this: authenticity is the guardian of a nation's identity. And that is where my country, Jamaica, comes in. Every nation needs something that protects not only its borders, but its very essence. Because the greatest danger is not always being conquered from the outside. Sometimes it is slowly disappearing from within, blending so completely into other people's expectations that you forget the unique gift you were created to bring to the world. Authenticity is the lighthouse that stands firm through every storm, sending a clear and unmistakable signal across the sea. This is who we are. No matter how fierce the winds become or how strong the pressure to conform, the lighthouse never changes its light to match the ships passing by. It simply shines. So one of the qualities I've always admired about my own people, Jamaicans, is that we rarely feel the need to negotiate our identity. We do not ask permission to sound Jamaican. We do not apologize for our music or laughter or food or creativity or sports or the way we see the world. We carry them with pride because they're part of who we are. I believe that is where our magnetic energy comes from. Not from perfection, wealth, or size, but from unwavering authenticity. The life force of a nation is found in its willingness to remain true to itself. It lives in the passion people bring to their interests, the conviction behind their beliefs, the rhythm of genuine laughter, the stories they tell, and the courage to keep expressing their identity without seeking approval. Authenticity creates a kind of invisible magnetism that cannot be manufactured or imitated. People may not always understand it, but they can feel it. They are drawn to it because there is something deeply attractive about people who know exactly who they are. Jamaica has long carried that light into the world. As we often say, we little but we talawa. We may be small in size, but our spirit reaches far beyond our shores. Our music, our language, our resilience, and our culture have touched millions because they were never designed to imitate anyone else. They simply remained true to themselves. Perhaps that is the lesson. The brightest nations are not the ones trying hardest to fit into the world. They are the ones brave enough to let the world see who they truly are. Like a lighthouse standing faithfully on the shoreline, authenticity does not chase attention. It quietly shines. And in doing so, it helps others find their way home. Jamaica is literally a brand. As you watch this video, it's possible that you could be saying, Angie is talking about just those 3 countries. And yes, I'm sharing about the 3 countries about which I know the most. Jamaica, where I was born, Ghana, where I visited the most, the country that we consider to be our motherland, the country where we've been treated with so much respect, warmth, so much welcome, and Haiti, where I've been loved and warmly received overseas in the United States and other countries that I've visited. So these are the countries that I know most about. However, does it mean that your country does not apply? Absolutely not. Because regardless of where you're from, your country has gifts. You have ancestors that I'm sure have gone through challenges and have overcome. So whenever you're facing your own personal life challenges, the point of this video is to remind you that there are gifts, that there are things that can be explained, that there are things that you can call upon because of the history of where you're from. So let us understand this. No matter where you're from, your nation carries gifts that the world needs. If you're facing rejection, hardship, or uncertainty, don't let the voices around you define your worth. Look back at the story of your people, and I guarantee you will see threads that are similar to Haiti, similar to Ghana, similar to Jamaica. It may not be the exact same story, but there are similarities, there are lessons that you can take from it. Remember what your ancestors survived, what they built, what they overcame, and what they passed on to you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, and share this with anyone you believe will be helped by it. This is Angie Marie, and I look forward to seeing you soon in my next video. I invite you to check out the link in my bio to Opus Link, which is an amazing app. I'm so glad I found Opus because it has helped me so much with my content for my YouTube videos. Also, I want to have a link to Canva because I believe that there are these apps that you cannot really be successful on YouTube by yourself without their help. Canva is one and Opus Clip is another. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.